Hello, welcome to my weekly look ahead video. Now, it's the last week before the conference recess. This week we've had some bills around the social security uprating. Now, this is quite controversial. The government's had to drop the pensioner triple lock this year for the simple reason there's been this artificial surge in wage rate, so that in September wages are up something like 8.5%. So if that full amount were to be passed on to pensioners, it would be hugely expensive. So what the government has decided to do is there will be at least a 2.5% uptick this year, but for that 1 year, that third part of the triple lock, which is linked to average earnings, is going to be suspended. I know some people think that's unfair, but these are exceptional circumstances, and pensioners have been protected with the fall in wages last year and above average inflation increases that we've had. I know we all need to do better for our pensioners, but there are exceptional circumstances. We've also had the debate around universal credit, which is coming to an end. That additional £20, which was given because of the lockdown, was extended for a further 6 months. Now, I know there are a lot of people who are struggling on universal credit, and there are parts of universal credit which I think can be improved, but carrying on £20 for everybody every week at a cost of £6 billion a year in the current circumstances, and with the finances we need to get back on track after lockdown, is just not feasible. So I've had a number of emails on it, but I've looked at this closely, and I think the government is right that we need to bring that to an end at the end of September. There's an awful lot of extra help that's been brought to bear by DWP for people in particular need. Otherwise, in Parliament this week, we've got the debate on the finances of working people, and with all the pressures on, that's again a topical issue. We've got the London Capital and Finance Compensation Bill, which is a technical bit of legislation for people who suffered under that scheme. It's Baby Loss Awareness Week. We've got a debate on that. It's a subject very close to my heart. I've done a lot of work on in the past. We have a debate on human rights in Kashmir. Also this week, with my sort of overseas hat on, I organised a Zoom meeting with parliamentarians from Madagascar, the fourth poorest country in the world, where climate change is causing some real problems for them. It was interesting to get their take on it and how they're coping with COVID. If you think we're doing very well on vaccinations over here, in Madagascar, under 1% of the population has so far been vaccinated, which is why it's so important that when we can, we share our spare vaccination doses with other countries, particularly poorer countries. I also met the new ambassador to London from Armenia. I chair the All Party Armenia group. We formed a new all-party parliamentary group on the southeast. My colleague Sally Ann Hart, from MP for Hastings, has set that up, and I went to the inaugural meeting of that. This week we've got Home Affairs Select Committee. We have the Permanent Secretary in front of us for a whole host of questions. There'll be lots of questions around the scheme for resettling Afghans, the continuing problems of the Channel crossings, which I've spoken about a lot. We're producing a report on that later on in the autumn. I've got meetings later this week on children's social care. Also are going to be attending the Ada and Worthing Chamber of Commerce Better Business Show on Thursday, which I hope will be well attended. I've got meetings with the Clinical Commissioning Group for an update on GPs catching up across West Sussex. On this Sunday I'm on BBC Politics South. I was on BBC Politics South East last week, so those in the Western constituency that get their broadcast from Southampton, that will be on Sunday morning. And I'm going to be out knocking on doors in Bywater this Saturday. So a lot going on this week, and I should be around all through recess as normal, doing a lot more in the constituency. So see you around.